Welcome back to Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. It has been a noticeable while. Can't even remember when I last uploaded, but I'm not sure if the message even was viewable or not, because I just posted a message essentially on my channel to point out that I had a sore throat, so I couldn't do any recording, so no uploading for this channel, you see. The thing is, I don't know what it was, it must have been a flu or something, and I've only recently starting to actually feel better, although I'm in a really shitty mood nonetheless. Essentially, I had really horrible body aches, throat felt horrible. Anytime I'd swallow at all, just when you just you'll randomly just randomly swallowed, and you and it would feel like kind of pain, and I was stuck with that shit for 2-3 days before starting to settle down, and now I've got a kind of rash on my neck, which I'm gonna get checked out. Not entirely sure what it is, but bugs me as well. And essentially, because of all that, I couldn't even speak properly, and even if I could, I didn't fucking feel like it, because I felt like shit. I felt like not talking at all. I mean, how's this? I didn't even play my guitar for quite a number of days, because I was in so much freaking lack of energy and just feel like crap. It's I can't even do anything right now. I feel like shit. So that was a whole week, and to where we are now, it's kind of the after bit of the, flu or cold, where it's just I feel better, but still, all the phlegm and shit, nasty. So yeah, and the reason I'm still in a pissed off mood is that the past few days I've recently been replaying Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Tag Force, wherever. It's the first one on the PSP, and I haven't played it in a long time because I didn't have the charge for my PSP, and since recently playing it, I've just remembered why I stopped playing it. It's repetitive, and that's about it, really. That's the whole game in a nutshell. And I played through it more than I ever did before, and it got the plot points, if you could even call them that. Just hey, look, that character returned to the plot, man, after being absent for weeks. Wow, let's have a scene about it and then forget about it entirely and just go back to being wow, check out this new stuff at the store, man. And just could you have at least given them more variety in the dialogue? And other games about dueling, but it's boring. You just battle the same bastards over and over again, and most of them kick your ass because some of them are just hacks. I mean, get this. Change of heart in that game is banned, yet there are other fucking cards that have the same exact fucking effect and are perfectly allowed. In fact, everyone seems to fucking use it but me. And I forget what it's called, but it's that one card that destroys all monsters on your opponent's field, and it's banned in that game. And ironically, the trap card that stops that shit isn't banned. What the fuck is the point of that? If you're gonna use that card, how can you use it? You can't use it against a card because it's banned. So you're using a card that isn't banned to stop a card that is banned that you'll never encounter because it's banned. But then there's another version of it that does the same thing. The only difference is only face-up monsters get destroyed, and you have to discard one card. Easy enough for those bastards with a freaking pot of great shit. Oh, I hate that game so much. Yet I play it because it's addictive at the same time. It's it's just a card collecting simulator, man. It's just buy cards and buy sandwiches for everyone and build up relationship till we get to the tournament. That'll never happen because it takes for fucking ever to get to it. I've never gotten that far in the game because I get bored out of my mind with bullshit. And all the freaking page-free characters, particularly the female ones, it seems, are the most pain in the ass to deal with because they throw shit after shit after shit. They'll summon like freaking 6-star monsters on a first turn, freaking just destroy you. They'll use trap cards, spell cards, and they'll destroy everything you throw at them. And it's just, oh, I'm ranting, but I've got to rant, man, because that freaking pisses me off. And Pharaoh, the cat, he's a bastard as well. Every time, you know, like, if you have him going around with you, you'll get a perfect conversation with everyone. But you've got to actually, you know, pet the cat in the correct way that he wants to. And sometimes you just be like, oh no, I don't feel like going to you. It's like, fuck off, you bastard, furry ass shit. Fuck off, yeah, that game kind of drove me a bit mad with rage. But yeah, I freaking hate a lot of things about it. It's bland. You just collect cards. It's the most interesting thing about it. The characters don't change at all. It's like, you got a class in that game and you learn nothing in the classes. It's just like random scenarios that are just kind of like, you're just repeating the same bloody scenarios, man. Variety. How many times can we have the same class where it's like, today we're going to learn about curry? It's like, oh, well, we're not going to learn about curry. It's just a generic joke that's kind of repeated a couple of times. There's so many things that annoy me about that game, and I don't know why I'm even ranting. Well, I know why, because I've made a recorded in quite a number of days, and I felt like ranting. But on another note, I'm recording at my desk now because my room is being rearranged. So the bird's no longer on the chair, but as you can hear, the bird's still in the room. He's just been relocated to the top of a kind of cupboard place thing. I don't even know what you call that, really. But that's essentially where he's been relocated to. And my room is much cleaner and much more spacious now. And so I'm sitting at the desk for the first time in I don't even know how long. But anyways, I've been ranting on for how long now? Oh, it's only been 7 minutes. Let's freaking get this shit on the road. I said let's get this shit on the road. I can't even remember where we left off. My class ends a good 20 minutes early as I put on an accent for the day. So I walk down to the lobby and buy a can of juice, then sit down on a bench and wait for Rin. I pull out a novel from my bag and search for the place I was at. Time stretches comfortably over the warm afternoon while I idly sip my orange juice and read a few chapters of the book. The plot doesn't seem to advance at all, but it's all the same for me. Ha ha ha, how fitting. Because that's how I feel about that damn Yu-Gi-Oh game. The plot doesn't move. It's at a standstill. You talk to the characters and say the same shit over and over and over and over. It's like, well, what do you expect? It's Yu-Gi-Oh! What kind of plot do you have? You got some stupid characters being like, you know, given the generic, we will take over the world domination is our goal. It's like, not only is that a stereotype, but you're in a freaking card game, essentially. For fuck's sake, I can't take it serious. Can't really, like, you know, suspension of disbelief can't be, like, done to that extent for me. I'm just like, no, man, this is just... I mean, that's Yu-Gi-Oh! In a nutshell and all, but the way they go about it just seems even more stupider than anything. And while it's still on the subject, I gotta say, I forget his name. Well, I know his name, I just don't know how it's pronounced. Cyrus, whatever. Blue-haired guy. He reminds me of Yugi a bit, only not as likable. He just, like, anytime I see him, I'm just like, anytime you talk to him and he's like, acts all like, well, I don't want to talk about that, blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, oh, shut up. That's probably what he used to say to me now. He's like, oh, get on with it. Stop bitching about a game that's you're not even playing yet. Seriously, man, that game. Oh, I hate those bastards. I don't even know why I still play it. The bell rings to end the school day and students shuffle to club meetings or outside. Nobody notices me sitting on the bench with my nose in a novel. I keep watch for Rin, but I don't see a familiar face or red tinted hair passing by. I check my watch 20 minutes past the end of class, but the lobby is all but emptied of people again. Even Rin should have already managed to get out of class, but I missed her walking by, or she never came downstairs. Perhaps she went to the art club room for some last-minute things instead, or got held back by her strict homeroom teacher. I'm suddenly remembering where we left off. It was when the art evaluated thing, wasn't it? And now she's going to, work on that, so, be skipping school, essentially, for it. I haven't really waited that long, but having grown tired of it already, I decided to go find her myself. I stuffed my book bag in the bag and throw the now empty juice can in a trash bin, then climb upstairs. I wonder how hearable that sound of the toilet flushing in the other room, because my room is right next to it, the bathroom essentially, and it's the desk is a lot closer to the wall, because I usually, when I record, I just have it on the bed. I just sit in the awkward way that I always mention, but now I can just sit a bit more comfortably, I suppose, because I'm at the desk. Did I read that? I think I did. The hallway is eerily quiet, as there are no club rooms apart from the art room nearby. I check there first, but not even the teacher is in. Coming back towards the stairwell, I quietly knock on the door all 3-4 and push the door open to begin. Yellow sunbeams cross the classroom, falling across the floor. The dust and chalk floating slowly in the air make the light almost palpable. The entire room bathes in the gentle light shining through the windows, washing the shadows away. Only one person is inside the classroom. Rin sits in what I assume is her seat next to the window in the 3rd row. Her head rests against the desk. I wonder if she slept through it all. Apparently not even Emmy had the heart or maybe the capability to wake her up. I close the door quietly, walking past the neat, even rows of desks. I go over to where she sits. Rin? My mouth is suddenly so dry that the words come out as a tiny whisper. I know that feeling as well with that cold, man. My mouth was really just I mean, he's talking about... Well, actually, that's how my voice must have sounded. When you're filled up with a cold or a flu, your voice is you sound like I've smoked 20 cigarettes, and I've never even smoked cigarettes. Oh, man. No, don't do that voice, man. Hurts my throat just doing that. No wonder why. It's one of the reasons I don't tend to do the evil blackboard voice much, because it freaking hurts the throat. And I freaking had a lot of pain with my throat in the past few days, and I'd rather not freaking have it continue even further. That voice, man, I gotta get some drink. Stop that! Right, where was I? Ah, yes, the dry mouth. Man, don't do that again, that's for sure. Put on a chronic smoker voice makes you feel like you have a sore throat. I still probably do, I suppose. Well, not really. Do I? No, not the moment. But seriously, it lasted for freaking days. It was horrible, man. And I actually did do one recording during that time. It was a Mugen video, and I limited my commentary throughout it because I can't speak all the way through the video with this freaking damn sore throat, and my voice sounded very different essentially. So I was I gotta spice up some other way, so I just put in some wrestling commentary to kind of make up for my lack of commentary throughout most of it. But anyways, that's a completely different story. She doesn't answer, so I set my bag down on the floor next to hers and lean over her to look at her face. Besides, the Mugen video I haven't even fully edited for, so I haven't even gone around to uploading that yet. But again, that's got nothing to do with this. We're staring at Rin's face. That's what's important now, it seems. Rin's eyes are peacefully closed, the long eyelashes projecting thin shadows onto her cheeks. There was an awkward pause there. Her mouth is slightly open, letting me hear the quiet sound of her breathing. Her usually messy hair is even more so today, lying in complete disarray over half of her face and forehead. You know what? This further must confirm Rin's kind of suspicion that Hisao must be the type of person who likes watching girls sleeping. Because this is the second time he's done it now. Third time if you count the first. Her bag is lying at her. Is it just me or does the music have like a kind of distorted sound? It's like boom, boom. What's up with that? Is the volume loud or is it just the way I've got my laptop placed down here? Well, wherever her bag is lying, I feel like a forgotten ragdoll. A few books and pens have fallen out of it near her seat. The scene makes me smile a little. I touch Rin's head lightly, sweeping a few stray hairs off her ear. Her hair feels warm against my palm. Rin stirs and I retract my hand on reflex, feeling embarrassed for touching her so casually. She looks so vulnerable like any sleeping person. It's impossible not to feel fondness towards her. I sit on the desktop of whoever is in front of Rin, then draw the window slightly open to get some fresh air in. Hopefully it will wake her up and I won't need to resort to cruder methods. Nice effect. She doesn't wake up, but I didn't really expect her to. You know, it's really, like, that mustn't be too complex to actually do, but still. The fact that there's so many actual professionally made visual novels that don't really have any kind of animation at all in their visual novels, and this is pretty much like freeware essentially. It's quite a lot of effort put into it. Looking at her makes me feel tired as well. To be honest, I wouldn't mind a quick nap hour, but I content myself with leaning against the large window. The glass is warm against my ear and cheek as these windows face west towards the setting afternoon sun. That afternoon light is slowly melting into Rin's auburn hair, softening her outline so that she seems to be fading into her surroundings. The minute twitches of her muscles, her hair swaying in the air current, the even rhyme of her breathing. It all gives a strong impression of the dreaming girl. You know, maybe it's just me, but this right here, I get rhyme and rhythm mixed up quite a bit. I don't know why. Well, I do, because, I don't know, they just have a similar spelling, I think. Or maybe I'm even more confused by it than I originally thought. I'm gonna have to Google that. Like all sleeping people, Rin looks like she is away from this world, in some distant dream country. With her, it doesn't feel so obvious that she would ever come back. She seems so detached from her surroundings even when she's awake. In fact, she has this same kind of air around her when realization hits my consciousness without warning. Rin sometimes looks like when she's painting, like that when she's painting. Folks' expression gives the same feeling of being on the other side of some, imaginary gap, as looking at her sleeping face does. I feel a pain in my chest. There's no way I can close the gap to be on the same level with her. It hurts, even though I know that it's impossible for any two people to truly understand each other. But Rin, she's almost literally in another world when she's talking about art, thinking about art, or making art. It's a world that I, or anyone else really, can't share with her, just like the world of dreams. Still, Rin still doesn't show any sign of waking up, so I'm faced with the decision to either rouse her myself or wait for her to awaken on her own. I chose the latter. Waiting is something I am good at. I found that out during my hospitalization. Leaving the hospital ward was more lively than the school after classes are over. The only sounds in this place are the loud ticking of the clock above the door and the distant voices of students down on the grounds. A genuine summer breeze blows inside from the window I cracked open, full of warmth and carrying the scent of light. I look outside to see where it came from, but I'm dazzled almost instantly. The window glass seems to trap all the sunlight within, making it painful to look that way. All I can glimpse through the window are the dark silhouettes of the trees and the wall around the campus against the setting sun's radiance. Why am I speaking like this anyway? As I turn back to watch Rin, she stirs again. It's the beautiful music. Oh no, I can't reach my guitar. Oh well. It's probably for the best, really, because if I stop playing guitar, I'll just ruin the mood even more. A single tear worms down from the corner of her eye. Worms down? I don't think I've ever heard a word like that. Well, I have, because I've played this before. That sounds like an odd wording. In the corner of her eye, slowly making its way across her face before it falls onto the desk. Anytime this music plays, I feel tempted to play along to it with my guitar, or, randomly sing every bit of dialogue, essentially. But I won't do that. It's tiny, barely a droplet, but it captivates me. Now a tear follows the first, and then a third. A feeling of anxiety overcomes me, petrifying me on the spot. It's so strange, seeing Rin's face peaceful as she sleeps, at the same time as tears stream down her cheeks, letting the wooden desktop she rests her head on. I don't know what to do, so I do nothing. I just watch the tears roll one by one down her face. I wonder what she's dreaming about. Rin wakes up after one final flinch, or perhaps because of the tears. She sits upright and yawns so excessively it looks like her jaw might dislocate. She notices my presence, but her reaction is more like the lack of any reaction at all. It's just an acknowledgement, no style of gasp or anything. Hello. Oh, damn it, Bird, didn't say hello to you. You know that? Nah, I'll ramble on about time at some other point after the scene. Good morning. Sometimes when I hear good morning like that, particularly when it's written like that, it reminds me of the old Tekken games, like Tekken 2. And when you start the game, there'd be a voice being like, good morning. If you played the Tekken 2 or something like that, you might kind of get what I'm talking about there. It's just, I don't know, man. It just randomly comes to mind whenever I hear that sometimes. She's so groggy she can't even return my smile that I somehow can't stretch to be entirely honest. Rin notices her wet cheeks and quickly wipes them on the shoulder of her shirt. It seems she isn't at all surprised or flustered by them. You cried in your sleep. A bad dream? No, it's nothing like that. It's something I've learned to do from other people. It's a funny story, I'll tell you later. On second thought, not really that funny at all. I guess I won't tell you. Did you want something, or did you just come to watch me sleep? I wanted to see you after classes. Oh well, it's after class now, and I'm seeing you right here. Yeah, I just wanted to say good luck or something. I figure the upcoming weeks are going to be a lot of work for you. Thanks. Rin yawns again and blinks a few times. I feel weird. Didn't really sleep much last night at all. I can relate. There were a few nights in the past week where I didn't get much sleep. Woke up and my throat's just didn't get enough sleep as a result. It was only when I got a decent amount of sleep that I started feeling a bit better, Butterflies in your stomach? Well, no, I mean, yes, I know what that means. Butterflies. Don't really feel so good now. It'll be fine. I'm so confident someday it will bite you in the ear. I look forward to it. I think I have to go. I promised Miss Inji that I'd go there straight after school. Now it's after school. Wait, what was that again? You're so confident someday it'll bite you in the ear. So is she essentially saying, my, aren't you confident as how? It's like, don't get too cocky with that. It'll bite you on the ass. I said bite you on the ear, but same thing, right? I don't know. Is it okay if I come by sometimes? I mean, sometime, same thing. There's my throat going there again. I'm guessing you're planning to work long hours, so if you prefer to avoid distractions. It's okay, it's not a distraction. Not like Emmy. Don't bring her with you, though. I wouldn't like that this time. I told her to stay away. I see. Alright then. Rin stands up and silently walks to the door with me following behind. The school's... No, I said I wouldn't. The school's empty hallways, devoid of the usual crowd of students, feel very lonely. It's only a few hours since school ended, but the building seems to be all but deserted. Our footsteps are all that intrudes upon the stillness of the hallways. It really is so tempted to just sing these lines along to this music. You know? I can picture like a couple dancing to this music or something. It just has that kind of... It just has that sort of quality to it. The change is sudden, but it shows how the building is just an empty shell, dead without its students and teachers to liven it up. Well, if not for that, trees and plants now would grow in it. That'd certainly liven it up. It's like the school has become a private world for just the two of us, a desolate place filled with silence and chalk dust. I'm gonna change. She says this out of the blue while we walk down the stairs from the third floor, and it makes me wonder how she views this challenge that lies ahead of her. That's what people must do sometimes. It's the last thing we say to each other that day, even though there's so much that we could talk about. And even those words drown in the all-encompassing silence, disappearing into the stagnant air as if they were never said. I forgot what I even mentioned, like, in that scene where it's like, I'll probably ramble on about that after the scene. Already forgotten it, man. I forgot what I was even rambling on about at that point. Next Monday is marked by a strange emptiness that grips me. Caused by the knowledge that I won't be able to see written whenever I want to anymore. This whole feeling is a little bit disconcerting, but I make it to the afternoon all the same. My last class is, in a word, terrible. It's not that the lesson is that bad. It is, however, boring, and it's so hot in the classroom that I feel like I'm melting. The air conditioning is either broken or turned off, so the windows are open. It makes no difference, since the air outside is completely still. Only the chirping of cicadas carries inside. Wait, I'm starting to remember. What's it? What was it? I can't freaking remember. It was something that I was gonna say, but I hate that, man. I have the worst memory when it comes to shit like that. It's just like, okay, I got something to say here, and if I don't say it like within a minute or so within thinking the thought, gone, and then returns. Usually long after it, like when I'll be editing, I'll obviously probably remember what it is I was talking about, because I'd actually hear the point in the video where I'd actually mention it, and be like, yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. But I can't do that when I'm recording, and it doesn't even really matter. Carry on with the